So I'm sure you've heard of this book called The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. And it's a great book. I love it. But I noticed that when people read it, they typically start doing something kind of dangerous with it. They start thinking that if something is hard, it must be their path. Like, oh, I'm struggling, I feel resistance. Great, that means I'm on the right track. And I'm like, well, hold up. No. Well, just because it's hard, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's your path. Sometimes it's just hard because your whole being wants to let you know this ain't it. And look, I get the appeal. Ryan Holiday lays out this whole stoic philosophy thing, like turn obstacles into opportunity, become anti-fragile, use the struggle to sharpen yourself. And that's all good external wisdom. But where people go wrong is they start applying that same mentality to their inner resistance. And they miss a huge distinction. There are really two types of resistance. And if you can't tell the difference, you will most likely waste years of your life pushing through the wrong one. The first type is external resistance. Now, this is what Ryan is talking about in the book, something outside of you. Let's say your business crashes. You get injured, you get rejected, you lose a client, someone says no, or you get locked out of a deal. See, that's the world throwing you an obstacle. And in that case, yes, keep going. You can adjust, you can adapt and try again. But then there is internal resistance as well. And this is where things get a little tricky. This is the kind of resistance where you say you want something, but the second you imagine yourself actually having it, your stomach tightens. You get this weird gut feeling. Your chest clenches, maybe even your energy dips. So overall, it feels kind of off. Now that is not the world testing you. That's your unconscious saying, this doesn't feel safe. And the most important thing about this is you can't out-hustle your own misalignments. So what happens is people start confusing these two. They chase goals they think they should want. They pick outcomes or end results that look good on paper. And when they hit that inner resistance, they go, oh yes, obstacle is the way. I must persevere. No, you're not Marcus Aurelius. You're not trying to endure a siege on the Roman Empire. You're just trying to build a life you actually want to live, right? But if the only feedback loop you listen to is this idea of pain equals progress, you will end up glorifying suffering instead of choosing something that lights you up, something that's truly yours. Now, this is where I'd like to mention this concept I talk about a lot. It's called the creative structure. Here's how I see it. When you're aligned with your true end result, something that excites you and feels like you, something that's on your heart, you will naturally want to move toward that. Even if you feel a little bit of resistance towards some of the action steps that will eventually get you there, you will find yourself catching momentum because it's literally pulling you forward. The universe starts handing you breadcrumbs like, this is the way, this is where you need to go. Synchronicities pop up, you feel alive. But if you're choosing goals from survival, like, I have to prove I'm enough, or I need to make my dad proud, or I'll be worthy when I hit this number, then your structure is off. And guess what? That inner resistance you feel in that case, well, that's your nervous system saying, hey, we don't believe we can safely have this. Not as we are right now. See, that's not something to push through. That's the type of resistance you want to recode or rethink your structure, your end result completely. Let me give you something simple to use as a compass. Close your eyes and step into the emotion of the end result that you want. Not the action that's going to lead you there or the entire journey. Just imagine it's already done. You're living it. How does it feel? If your body feels open, elevated and calm, that's a green light. Keep going in that direction. If, however, you feel this clenching gut feeling like you're trying to wear someone else's clothes, then that's not alignment. That's your unconscious calling bullshit. That's probably the moment you need to step back and ask, did I choose a goal that's truly mine or one that I thought would finally make me enough? Because you're not broken, but your structure might be. This end result, the goal that you're going after, might not be something that's truly on your heart. Now, once you feel good in the end result, imagine taking the next obvious step toward it. How does that feel? If that's where the resistance comes up, then that's the kind you do want to move through. You want to shift that because that means the goal is right, but your identity hasn't caught up yet. You're afraid to be seen or fail or even succeed or get judged. And that's when you recode. That's when you let go of the friction so you're in flow with your end result and not fighting it. See, years ago, I was an affiliate for this travel club and I loved it. Amazing community, very lucrative opportunity. There was a ton of potential there for fulfillment. It felt fully aligned with my goals. But when COVID hit, the company started struggling, so it got bought out, and a lot of things changed. The product lineup, the leadership, and just overall the vibe wasn't the same. But because I invested so many years into this project, it sort of became part of my identity, and I simply didn't want to give up. I couldn't. I had the obstacle is the way mentality sort of hardwired into my brain at that point. I was like, yep, this is a challenge, but I have to rise above. No excuses, keep going. But if I look back now and I analyze myself and what was going on inside me emotionally, I can clearly see that my heart wasn't in it anymore. Not only that, but part of me felt conflicted, and deep inside, I straight up didn't even want to be successful with that company anymore because I didn't like that new identity, that new label it would have come with. But again, I just wanted to push through and make it happen regardless because I thought that surrendering was weakness. And it is in some cases, but this is where you have to develop that intuition and learn to listen to your heart and see and hear what's actually in there. Is it for you or is it not? And that takes courage to stop and admit that you're pushing something and invested a lot of time, energy, and effort, and probably even money into something that's not meant for you. Because the worst part is, by that point, almost everyone around me saw that it's not going to go anywhere and that I'm struggling and I'm only there because I'm used to it. I was just too stubborn to give it up. And it might be you right now. And if that's you, I completely understand where you are. And I also know that if you're as stubborn by nature as I am, then there's probably nothing I can tell you right now to change your mind. And that's why it's so dangerous. Because if you pursue the wrong projects or business or relationships or whatever it might be, and you're too resilient or stubborn to give it up, even when you finally realize it's not for you, by the time you stop, you've probably wasted valuable months, if not years of your life and your potential. So here's the truth Ryan Holiday doesn't tell you. Not all resistance is a sign to persist. Sometimes it's a sign to pause and pivot. See, the obstacle is the way, but only if you're on the right path. If, however, your ladder is against the wrong wall, climbing faster is just going to burn you out. So remember, if you're forcing something because you're afraid you're going to disappoint people, or afraid to change directions, or afraid to lose an identity that you've outgrown, that's not resilience. That's just misalignment that you've learned to tolerate. So if you've been feeling stuck lately, if you've been trying to grind through something that's just not working, stop for a moment and check which type of resistance you're dealing with. Is it just fear of growth? Well, great, recode that and keep going. But if it's your intuition telling you this goal isn't the one, then you might want to completely reevaluate things. Because once you learn how to spot the difference, you will stop wasting precious time. And you start building your life from alignment, not from your ego or fear or from pressure. Just pure, powerful creation. If you want help with this, I break this down even deeper inside my free Skool group. How to spot resistance, how to shift your structure, and how to create the life you actually want to live. It's free for now, so get in while it's open. And if you're at a major crossroads right now, maybe you're staring down a decision that could change everything for you, or you're working on a goal that should be exciting, but it feels kind of heavy, then feel free to book a call with me. Let's unpack together what's really going on behind that resistance so you don't waste another year fighting yourself. This one is very deep for me. And I'm very passionate about spreading awareness because I know just how many people are chasing things that are not meant for them or trying to achieve them from the wrong structure just to prove that they are enough. And I want you to consciously create a life that you love, but you're only going to be able to do that if you get crystal clear on what is pure for you. What's your purpose? And when you have no resistance towards achieving it. So reach out if you need help with that. Hit like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.